Hey there. I'm coming to you after being home for approximately 6 weeks now, 6.5 weeks following some major hip resurfacing surgery. My cane here next to me, and figured it was time to make a couple of videos for my Transcendent Living website. So today's topic came about when I was speaking to my son, who's growing into quite an adult now, and he said, "You know, Dad, I don't feel like I'm as happy and light as I was when I was just a child running around." Now, obviously, the glib, dismissive answer is, welcome to adulthood, but I figured that something a little bit more in-depth was in order. So I'll share that with you today because it seemed to have helped him out. What I told him was, happiness is not particularly a goal that ought to be sought after. We have, the pursuit of happiness, so on and so forth. But if you really think about it, it's the pursuit of meaning that gives us the drive to go forward. So I explained to him that neither agony or ecstasy lasts forever, and everything in between is in a state of flux. That's the way the universe operates. We don't have stagnant poles of plus and minus, but we have, areas of greater density and areas of lesser density, and the interaction between the two creates the flow of life. So while being on this earth, no matter what faith you're of, or even if you're an atheist, I think we can agree that the pursuit of meaning is something that gives us at least the purpose to get up and go forward. Even if you're a nihilist and you believe that this life will ultimately end and there's nothing after that, why not get up each day and enjoy whatever this is, why ever this is? So in pursuing something that's both purposeful and has an inner meaning to you, following your conscience day by day, getting up and saying, what's the call inside today? Where does meaning lie for me today? And pursuing that thing. Sometimes you'll have frustration when it doesn't work out, and sometimes you'll have elation when it does, and then there's the process in between where you're just figuring things out. I think any artist out there can understand that, you get an idea for a song, or to write a movie, or to write a book, and you labor over that, and that's quite an unpleasant process in general. And in the end, you wind up at that moment where everything comes together, where everything crystallizes, and you have that feeling of, yeah, this is right. And for that moment, you're content. But of course, then the next idea comes, and that moment of contentment is fleeting because that's the past. You've already done it. There's no meaning in sitting there and just soaking up accolades for it because the next idea is coming. And I think that we can look at it from the perspective of being privileged enough to be a part of that, to take part in the process of creation. That we're a small cell in the process of it taking place, but we also have the consciousness to observe that process taking place. And if nothing else, that alone carries with it a degree of magic that ought to be revered. So the idea is not to pursue happiness. Happiness may come, may go, but really to just live in a state of contentment that what you're doing has meaning and purpose. And then you'll be ready to endure the times that are stressful, and you'll be willing to appreciate and be glad about the times where you have that sense of elation that you have in fact accomplished something. So that's my thoughts on happiness and its general place in our life. So for me, it's not important where you come from, what faith or religion you are, if you have one or you don't. What I hold dear are a couple of principles. Number one, to honor your Creator and those who came before you, your wise ancestors who through their actions in life have brought you to this point where you can experience this reality, to live in harmony with your own conscience and with nature, and above all, to dispel ignorance daily, because it's through ignorance that all manner of evil flourishes. Please leave your comments below if you want to open a discussion with one another. Be glad to see your feedback, because remember, it's just one person's take on it. So, may it be well with you, and I will see you next time.